Would you prefer to date a guy who had a promiscuous past or was a virgin?
I would want him to have a promiscuous past because I like a guy that has like that history,
Experience.
the trauma,
Honestly, yeah.
the sex.
Who's been through a lot, so he knows how to improve
Yeah.
going on to the forward relationship.
I wouldn't
you know
want
what
some
I mean?
pussy boy, honestly.
So you prefer bad boys? Okay. Why go after the guys who most people would say aren't shit?
Because I like to fix people, and because I'm a bad bitch, so I feel like most bad boys are also like any bad boy I've gone after.
I feel
They
like
kind
the
of
guys
have that-
who are considered not shit are the guys who are also like make the most effort to
And it's just the
be
spice,
better.
like it's just so the sex,
they
like
put
the
in the
passion,
effort to
just
try
like wanting to know if they're gonna text you or not. Like it honestly is like it's like a high.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Talk Podcast. Today, I am showing you a video clip of two women who are most definitely confused and delusional, and exactly the type of women most men who are responsible wouldn't want to take seriously. These are the types of women who follow certain patterns over and over again, and sooner or later wake up and realize, oh, something is not going the way I want it to. But what they don't understand is that they are the common denominator in the whole scenario. They are the common denominator when it comes to their dating life. So this lady's obviously one already referring to herself as a bad bee. This is a common thing nowadays. And the other one, she seems very cute and friendly, but I would assume that she is highly influenced by this other girl, or maybe she's just as her and covered up in a more, friendly and cute kind of way. So the conversation started off with the question if they would prefer to date a guy who has a promiscuous past or to date a virgin. And I need to make things clear so people can understand where I'm coming from. Dating someone, man or female, with a promiscuous past is nothing that I would advise to anyone. What is definitely true is that most women would want their partner, boyfriend, husband, the guy that they're involved with, the guy that they're interested in, to have experience. That is true. Most women want men to be more experienced in relationships, and especially when it comes to, the sexual part. Especially if the woman has already had sexual relations, she is not looking to date a man who's still a virgin. One of the reasons are women, we are not in the position of teaching you what you need to do in the bedroom. We have this idea, and this is not judgy, this is just how it is for most women, that we expect you to lead in the bedroom. In so many other areas in life, but especially when we're talking about this right now, most women would want their boyfriend, husband to be the leader in the bedroom. We just want to be taken care of in that position. Most women don't want to do the work, and then even having to teach you and explain to you what you need to do and how you need to do it. That is not what we are comfortable doing or what we are used to doing or what is in our nature of doing. We just expect a man to know what he has to do with, his private part to satisfy us and kind of get his pleasure as well. That's just how it is for majority of us women. For men, on the other hand, they would prefer to have a woman who has less experience. Men are not shying away from the idea of having to teach a woman how it's going to go, what they both want to experience. For men, that's not an issue. That's actually very welcoming. So that is one big difference from men and women in general. That goes for every race, every culture. So now when we talk about someone having a promiscuous past, that to me personally is a red flag. I think we need to be kind of differentiating and also setting boundaries when we talk about someone having experience, someone maybe dated 3, 5 people. But someone with a promiscuous past is someone, to me, who is reckless with their choices, who doesn't have standards and boundaries, who's willing to sleep with anyone and everyone just because. And that is a big red flag. And I think, even though I do understand, and I'm definitely on that path when it comes to men and women being different when it comes to sexual experience, even though as well for men there are boundaries, I wouldn't recommend any woman choosing a man who's just having this past of sleeping around, not being responsible, having hundreds of girls. But reality is, and this is why I'm trying to differentiate, reality is us women, we don't really care, to be honest. Obviously, you wouldn't want to go into a relationship knowing that that guy has been sleeping around with 200 women. I wouldn't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it. But the overall thing is that most women are going to look away from that if the status of the man is high enough. Okay, I'm going to give you an extreme example. Most women have this idea of, wanting to be with a highly successful man, famous, an athlete, a musician, and that's all perfectly fine. You can want that. What I'm trying to get to is, we all know, let's take a musician, for example, Drake or Chris Brown, very well-known men, very successful in what they do, but also very successful with women. And we all know that these men, they have had a lot of sexual experiences with different women, kind of like switching them up like underwear. But still, most women wouldn't mind being a part of the rotation. Most women wouldn't mind having a chance to date one of them, because why? In that moment, they don't care how many women you have. It's a competition. It's like, I'm going to be the one who's going to be the best or good enough for me to keep him. Or even the status, the position, the money that he has is going to be enough to cover up that promiscuous past. And actually, 200 and more to me is extreme, but I hope you guys understand the gist. We as women, we are actually attracted to men who are able to attract other women. You see that scenario when you go partying. There's always, there are a lot of men around, some just hanging around lonely, no one is interested. They're with their dudes and, drinking at the bar, not really attracting that attention. And then there are this small circle of guys who maybe look very attractive, tall, or just flaunting their wealth. They have the money, they're buying drinks, they're booking the tables, and you see that so many women are going to flock towards them because that is attractive to us women. And the moment women see that other women are going there, there must be something good about it. Does that make sense? So we are attracted to guys who are able to pull in other women, actually. I am drifting off a bit, but overall, what I'm trying to say is that I personally wouldn't recommend either man or women to really follow along someone who has a promiscuous past, who has a background of sleeping around. But I also need people to understand how different it is for men and women. The consequences, the way it's accepted, the way it works, and the way it affects you as a woman or as a man is also completely different. Obviously, over time, a man can also start feeling a certain type of way, but us women, it's going to get to you, letting multiple people into your most secret part of your being, and they're just coming and going and coming and going. It is going to affect you. I've talked about this in one of my earliest episodes, talking about the hookup culture and how so many women are, buying into this idea that they can behave and do certain things that men do. And most of the things that they're trying to compete with men is not only out earning men, but actually being as sexually active as men. and they're trying to, sleep around without getting attached and all that stuff. But most likely a lot of women who do this, they end up hurt, traumatized, and all those bad things that I wouldn't want anyone to actually go through. Just to give you guys a hands up, because I will talk about this very soon, the idea that women have that, oh, every guy is just sleeping around and they're all fuck boys and they can all, exercise that option of choosing to deal with different girls at the same time. That is actually not true. And that's how you see how so many women are actually confused and don't understand how the world of men work. It's a very small percentage of men who are able to exercise that option and just go around and pick any girl that they like. And what happens is these women who fall into that pattern or trap of dealing with the so-called bad boys and fuck boys, right? They're not bad people necessarily. They're just doing what they want to do, and you just chose to be a part of the rotation. You're choosing to change someone that doesn't want to change. That's the life he wants to live, but you're coming into his life thinking that just because you're going to offer him sex as well that he can get, you're going to change that. Majority of men are not living that type of life, because if you think about it, it takes a lot for a man to be able to attract a girl. And even the good looking guys, most women are not just going to go along with him because you don't want to look like that girl who's easy to take out, or it takes a lot. You need to know how to talk. You need to look a certain way. You need to be funny, but also smart. You need to be successful. You need to, there is so much that comes along before a guy can actually approach, past the approaching, and then get to the business. That's not every guy, but women have been sold this idea that all men are like that and all of them are trash and all of them are just going to play with you, not knowing that you girls are actually purposely choosing those guys. And not only that, it's us women that have opened the doors for men to actually act that way, to actually be able to even exercise that type of lifestyle, right? Because our standards when it comes to dating have been just completely twisted around. People are so open, women are so open to just go on Netflix and chill, have no requirements, have no priorities. And then when it goes wrong, suddenly they're coming with all these standards. So that doesn't make sense. And that's going to be something I'm definitely going to talk about very soon. But now, let's assume she is actually trying to say she wants a guy who is more experienced than her when it comes to dating, when it comes to, doing the business in the bedroom. I get that. Makes sense. Most women think like that. But if you keep listening to her, you're just going to see that this is a woman who is completely twisted and who is, to me, a dangerous mind, right? She is entertaining guys who are toxic. Toxic is the biggest word, the most used word nowadays, but this is definitely toxic. You're trying to change someone who has shown you how they are. You are actually promoting that type of behavior because you think you're a bad bee, so that's why you should go with that type of guys. And you're a fixer. You're trying to fix someone who doesn't have to be fixed, who doesn't want to be fixed. And this idea of, oh, the other girl said, only those type of guys are willing to put in the effort to become better, to get better. Why don't you just go with a guy who's already good? Why don't you just go with a guy who's already on the right path? Now the issue is they're having issues. They're the problem. They're not willing to work on themselves. They have so many bad habits that they have internalized and use fun words to cover it up. Like, yeah, I'm a bad bee, meaning I'm a girl has no discipline, no boundaries. I don't care. I don't respect anyone. I don't respect myself and my body. This is actually what is hiding behind those type of fun words like, oh, I'm a bad bee and stuff like that. The reason why so many women or women like that cannot get into a proper, just normal, functioning, respectful, committed relationship is because it would force them to admit their own flaws. It would force them to admit that, wait, I am actually the one who needs to do the work. Something is not really working right with me. Something is not really going well with me, the way I think, the way I act, the way I dress, the way I carry myself. That's why they're going to, in their mind, go out to the world and look for a guy who is also displaying that type of character, right? Because then if she believes, oh, we're the same in some way, it's not going to force me to change, right? This is just a backwards way of thinking. And these are exactly the women who do this, waste their prime years, their youth, to fall into this, I'm a bad bee and I'm just having fun and I can do what I want and I can change a man just by, being sexual with him, doing this and always getting hurt, always being traumatized, collecting traumas from other people, just a bad cycle of negativity, a whole cycle of negativity. And then once they reach a certain age and the biological clock ticks in, or you see your friends moving on in great relationships, building a family and all of that, you start sitting there and wondering, I need a good guy now. I need a man who's going to respect me. I need a man who's going to treat me right. I need a man who's going to commit to me. But all these years you have been putting yourself, because no one is forcing them. You have been putting yourself in the position of entertaining men who you shouldn't be entertaining. And if they want to live that life, let those men live that life. But you can make a choice who you want to deal with. But these women will purposely choose men who have traumas, who are not treating them right, who have bad attitudes, who are not respectable or responsible. And all this idea of we're just having fun, it's fun, and even the toxicity and to them is fun, and this thrill that she said, this feeling of being high, where you don't know what is going on, where you don't know where you stand, where you don't know where the relationship is going, you don't know if he's going to call you or not, but then you guys are just controlling with one another, and you fight just to make up again, and you break up again. This is just negative, and I don't know why. But you see the other friend, somehow to me it seems like the other friend, she's not really into that, but she's buying into it more and more, because women support women. If my girl is going to say something nonsensical, I'm going to say it too. That's how they operate. Birds of the same feathers at the end flock together, and it's all just a matter of time. They might look different. One might be covered up in this I'm a cute girl, and the other one might be in the position of really showing that she's this so-called baddie. But at the end, you are the same, because you're doing the same things, you're entertaining the same things, you're agreeing to the same things, and most likely the outcome is going to be the same for the two. So overall, my overall message on this clip is that men or women, if you know what path you want to go in life, if you know that you are the person who's looking for a great relationship, commitment, trust, you don't have time wasting in all this bad bee, bad boy type of lifestyle, don't entertain people like that. Don't follow into this, oh, someone needs to have a promiscuous past and need to be, completely upside down in their life before they can prove to me that they have experience. That is not true. People who have 3 relationships, or who have been with only 3 to 4 or 5 people, they have enough they have enough experience that they can give to you, and you guys can actually build your own relationship and experiences together. You don't need any woman or any man who has been with 200 plus people, or even, 50 is also crazy to me. Nowadays, there are numbers that are just nonsensical. You have teenage girls, 17, who have slept with 23 people. I don't see how that makes sense. But, all those things you need to take into consideration. You are not able, and you shouldn't put yourself in a position of trying to fix someone else. You also shouldn't put yourself in a position of, telling yourself and getting used to bad behaviors and sugarcoating them. That is just wrong. It's going to put you in a negative cycle in life. It's going to leave you hurt. And also, people need to think and understand that men and women are different. But if we go into the extreme, even for men, at some point, this is not the right thing to do. That's just how it is. And instead of, what I don't like when I see clips like this and just give them a few years, you're going to have the same women, the same types of women complaining about how men are so bad and they are treating us so bad and they're cheaters and they're this and they're that and they're dishonest and they're just dogs and, you know, all the negative stuff that they have to call out on men, not recognizing you are actually opening the door to them. You are actually the one picking these men. You're the one giving the access to your body. No man is going to just sleep with you or, you know, get into a relationship with you or do whatever with you if you don't actually agree to it. So women, you need to wake up. You really need to wake up. And if that's the life you want to live, enjoy it, have fun, but deal with the consequences. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.